Hello ladies and gentlemen, today we're going to review some exponent rules and simplifying radicals. So let's first start with some properties of exponents. Anytime we have negative exponents, we need to change our attitude. So if it's in the numerator, we need to move it to the denominator so it has a positive attitude. So we're going to take the x to the negative 2 and make that 1 over x squared. So if it's x to the negative n, then we have 1 over x to the positive n. Make sure we pay attention to what the exponent is referencing, what is the base of the exponent. So here we got 3 times x to the 5th. The 3 will stay in the numerator, while the x will relocate and change its attitude. Okay? If the negative exponent is in the denominator, it will change its attitude by moving to the numerator. So 1 over x to the negative n will become x to the positive n. Okay? So if we have negative 5 over 2 times x to the negative 10, again, this will become negative 5. The x will change locations and its attitude. So x to the positive 10th, and it's still all over 2. Product of powers. X to the m times x to the n. Here we are going to add the exponents. So this would be x to the m plus n. Add the exponents. So if I got 3 squared times 3 to the 10th, this will become 3 to 2 plus 10, which is 3 to the 12th. Anytime you have numbers, more than likely, I will ask you to use your calculator to give me the actual value of 3 to the 12th. So that 3 to the 12th is actually 531,441. So we got multiple monomials. We're going to multiply 6 times 7 and get to 42. A, we'll add the 4 plus 3. So we'll get 42a to the 7th. As we go to a power of a power, again, paying attention to what the base of the exponent is. In this scenario, we're going to multiply the exponents. So this would be x to the m times n. So if it's 4 cubed to the 5th, this will be 4 to the 15th, 5 times 3. So imagine if this is 4 cubed 5 times, and like the previous property, we would add the exponents. So if we add all these exponents, you get the 40 to 15. Okay? Here, the exponent will apply to each factor within the parentheses. So this is 2 to the negative 3 because this is understood to be 1, and a to the negative 21st. So changing the attitudes, this become 1 over 2 cubed a to the 21st which is 1 over, again, multiply that 2 cubed out, 8, a to the 21st. Power of a product. So again, this exponent is going to apply to each factor. So this is just a to the 8th, b to the 8th. Okay. I can rewrite this as 2 cubed, a cubed, multiplying those, b to the 6th, so we get 8, a cubed, b to the 6th. Quotient of a power. So with the power of a power, we add it. Now we're going to subtract the exponents. So this would be x to the m minus n. So here, 3 plus 4 would be 2 to the 7th over 2 squared. And now we have 2 to the 7th minus 2. So it's 2 to the 5th, which is 32. So in this example, you have 35 over 15, so you can reduce that. 5 goes into 35 7 times, and 15 3. Now a squared, there are more a's on the bottom. So in this situation, just think about where there are more and keep that in the respective numerator or denominator. So, or if you went 2 minus 5, that would be negative 3, which tells you it would be in the denominator. So we're going to keep the a cubed down. There are more b's on the bottom. So we'll keep the b's there. There are more c's on top. So it's c to the 7th. So let's write that neater. 7c to the 7th over 3a cubed b to the 5th. And let's show you a simpler version of that. So if we looked at the a squared over, back up, a squared over a to the 5th, a times a over a times a times a to the 5th, so cross cross, and I'm left with a cubed on the bottom. So hopefully that makes that make a little more sense. Power of a quotient, again, the exponent is going to apply to each factor in the numerator and denominator. So this is x to the m over y to the m. So if it's 2/3 cubed, 2 cubed over 3 cubed, which is 8 over 27. Again, 5 squared, a squared over 7 squared, b squared, or 25 a squared over 49 b squared. And the zero power property. Anything to 0 power is just 1. So 2 to the 0 is just 1. 2x, because of the parentheses, to the 0, 1. But now recognize that only the x times y is raised to the power of 0. So this is 2 times 1, which is just 2. Again, this quantity is raised to 0, so this just becomes 5 times 1, which is just 5. So pay attention. Okay? So pause the video for a moment and see if you can do these summing it up examples. Alright, so let's take a look at these. 5 times 3, negative 3, is going to give us negative 15. We got a cubed times a to the negative 4. If we add them, it's a to the negative 1. So my answer is negative 15 over a. Example 2. I have negative 4 squared. So 16. Negative 3 times 2. X to the negative 6. Y to the 5th squared. Y to the 10th. So we're going to write this positive 16. Y to the 10th over x to the positive 6. 14 over 36 will reduce to 7 over 18. I have more a's on the bottom, so we're going to go a to the 4th. More b's up top, so b to the 5th, 6 minus 1. And c cubed over c cubed is 1, so there's our answer. 7b to the 5th over 18a to the 4th. Alright, so we will have part 2 of the video, in which we will cover simplifying radicals. Okay, so just make sure if you have questions that you ask them in class or come see me during advisory. Have a good one.